Let me ask you this. When you go to the ER and you need emergency surgery, are you going to ask the surgeon where they went to college? If you need emergency services for dental work, are you going to ask the dentist where they went to college? I have a son who will be in the 9th grade this fall, and that got me thinking about what he wants to be when he grows up, what he wants to major in, and what colleges he might want to attend after high school. The whole conversation got me thinking about the American college system. As an older millennial, I was raised in an era where going to a prestigious college or a university with an elite name was a clear path to success. Elite universities were often associated with opportunities. They had extensive alumni networks, so it was almost seen as a guarantee that once you arrived at an elite university or a top-tier college, that you would have access to a network that you wouldn't otherwise have at, say, a community college. In fact, it was often seen that you would have strong recruiting relationships with major employers for careers like investment banking, management consulting, law, academia, and some areas of technology. Attending a well-known institution could provide a meaningful advantage. This is what I found on ChatGPT. During the decade from 2000 to 2010, there was a financial crisis, and the student debt actually ballooned, more than tripled during that time from 2000 to 2010. If you remember, family incomes and home values rapidly declined. So many people had or thought they needed to go to college in order to gain opportunities for job recruitment. Due to the economic downturn, many people financed their higher education. As a millennial parent, the college name means nothing to me. I've been in the workforce for 12 years. I went to a prestigious university. I went to New York University. I had a 4.3 GPA in high school taking AP and honors classes. I was in a band. I did all the things. I was in varsity tennis. I did SAT prep courses, and it seemed like every single day, the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed, there was some activity going on, something I was studying for, and that was my high school life for 4 years. I attended New York University thinking I'll have access to opportunities for internships and relationships that I wouldn't otherwise find at a local community college or even an in-state college. 2 years into it, I later transferred to UCI, the University of California, Irvine. I then went to the University of Southern California, obtaining a master's degree in teaching and a joint teaching credential. I was one of the statistics. I was newly credentialed, graduated with a newly minted master's degree, and I couldn't find a job because the economy was sinking. I had friends who were 4 to 5 years into their teaching careers who were getting pink slipped. Teachers losing jobs, and not just teachers, but a lot of people lost their jobs. In essence, I got a degree at the worst possible time. Nevertheless, I found a job out of state, and from there, I climbed up and out of that state back to my home state of California, and I taught for 12 years in public education. The first 6 years, I was busy paying my student loans off and qualifying for loan forgiveness programs as a teacher in low-income schools, and the latter 6 years, I was preparing for my retirement. Looking back at my life, I'm faced with the question of whether or not the college system will collapse. Does it offer the same opportunities that it once did? Is it a scam? What's going on with college these days? Let's examine a few key points. The first one is that people are getting smarter. They're realizing that there are opportunities right outside their doorsteps. A few weeks ago, I received a flyer from a teenager who is creating her own babysitting business in the community right out there. Additionally, I found another flyer from a child under 10 years old. He provides services for taking in and out the trash bins, the weeds. He removes weeds in the front lawn and the back lawn. He provides pet sitting and dog walking services. The opportunities to earn money are everywhere. You don't necessarily need a college degree to own a business or create a lucrative business. There's so much free information on YouTube. You watching this video is free information about some of the experiences that I went through. You can basically create a business or even a life out of the mistakes of other people who have posted on YouTube. Nowadays, you can go to a community college and get your general education and explore what you want to do before you commit and transfer to a larger university. You can also take online courses, effectively allowing you to stay home for a 4-year degree. You don't need to leave the comfort of your home to be educated. This next one hits hard because this is the reason why I had to work. I had no choice. I had to work and put my kids in daycare, not seeing them for the majority of the day because I needed to pay back student loans. In America, there is a student loan crisis. The average student loan in America per borrower is $39,000 to $40,000. And that's just federal student loans, not including private loans. The student loan debt in America surpasses $1.6 trillion by more than 43 million borrowers. With private loans, it sits closer to $1.8 trillion. This puts significant delay in buying a house, buying a car, getting married and having kids, and also retirement. Nowadays, the return on investment for an elite college education is low. Think about all the people who graduated from a prestigious university who are jobless or who are having a hard time finding a job. I know people who graduated from prestigious universities, not even prestigious, but expensive colleges, who can't even get a job in retail because they're too smart for those jobs. Employers don't want to hire them. Employers simply don't want to hire college-educated people for service jobs. If you look around today, employers are hiring based off of skill, based off of your experiences and credentials. Let me give you a perfect example. My husband is a college dropout. He earned, at the time when I was quitting my job, more than me as a college dropout, and I have a master's degree. What does that tell you? Of course, if you want to go into a specialty that's high paying, that requires a special certification, you need to go and get that. But for the majority of employers, they're looking at your experience. Nowadays, you can write all the names of the colleges you attended, like lighting up a Christmas tree on your resume. Everybody has that certification. Everybody has that degree. Everybody has that credential. So what sets you apart? Employers want to understand your skills. They're more interested in your experiences. And quite frankly, you as a person. They want to know things like, can you solve hard problems? Can you think critically on your own? Do you get along well with others? Do you have empathetic abilities? Can you show compassion? After getting my master's degree and teaching credential, I worked with many other people, some of them who went to universities, some of them who went to the local community college and transferred to in-state colleges. I worked with people with and without student debt. At the end of the day, we all worked in the same place and we earned the same amount of money. The one who took out student debt was there because I had to pay back my student loans. At the end of your education, you are responsible for paying back that student loan which you took out. So will your future job allow you to make enough money to dump all of it into your student loans if you so choose to take those out? Let me ask you this. When you go to the ER and you need emergency surgery, are you going to ask the surgeon where they went to college? If you need emergency services for dental work, are you going to ask the dentist where they went to college? Think about when you choose a restaurant. Do you look up the owner and where they went to college? Or do you look at the Yelp and Google reviews? As I was researching this topic of college collapse, I read an interesting comment by somebody who wrote, "It's not about what you know, but who you know." College used to be a place where you can get connections in order to get a job. Nowadays, if you have the right credentials and the education, and you know the right people, that puts you in a position far ahead of most people looking for a job in your field. Write in the comments below what your expertise in your field of work is and whether or not you got the job because you knew somebody. So, will the college system collapse? Probably not in the sense of it completely disappearing, but it will go through some type of transformation.